But if my child works in a group, maybe she's just going to get left behind. But you know, my son's really quiet. He needs somebody just to focus just on him during the lessons. I've heard about these tuition companies having 20, 30, you know, maybe even more students in a group. And what's the point of that? It's just replicating what's in the classroom. Hi, my name's Joycelyn Akufo. I'm the Managing Director of Geek School Tutoring. So, you are looking for tuition for your child and you are considering group tuition or one-to-one. Which one should you choose and why? Well, in this video, I want to explain the differences between our types of group sessions and one-to-one sessions and explain why I'm a fan of group tuition and why I believe that it works a lot more effectively, especially when children are preparing for the 11 plus and GCSEs. Number one, our group sessions are small group sessions. We don't have 20 children online. We don't replicate the classroom setting. And for the paid group sessions, and I say the paid group sessions, we tend to have up to 6 children in a group online at the same time. Now, where we've offered free sessions in the past, for example, during round 1 of the coronavirus lockdown, I personally gave free maths and English sessions for children in years 5 and 6. And there were instances where we had close to 100 children online. But those were free sessions, and the idea was to help as many children in the community as possible get some level of teaching and so on while schools were navigating through the various technologies that staff could manage and so on. It's something that I decided to do because I think in times of crisis we all need to help each other. So I delivered free maths and free English tuition between March all the way down until the summer holidays. So it was quite interesting, amazing though it was. We would never ever run group sessions with that number of children online. Definitely not paid group sessions because they sort of defeat the purpose. It's not about having lots and lots and lots of children online to show a demand for the service. It's about the quality. So let's just roll back a bit and talk about why I prefer group sessions for children preparing for the 11 plus or GCSEs. There's something about having a couple of other children or a small number of children working together, and when it's done properly and structured, they support each other, and in that support you'll find that your child is keen to go online because they see familiar faces, they sort of form a bond even though it's online, and even if it's online, if they're in person, they form an even better bond. It's quite amazing to see. In our sessions, they don't sit there talking to each other and so on because it's tuition, it's not school. So before we carry on with this amazing video, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you will get notified every time a new Geek School video goes up. Enjoy! What happens is there's a sense of familiarity and camaraderie, but the other important element is a sense of competition, healthy competition. What does that even mean? Well, what it means is that children who would normally just be very relaxed in their approach to their work, who possibly are satisfied with 70%, but have the ability to score, let's say, in the high 80s or 90s, suddenly see that another child is maybe scoring 100% or 98%, basically a higher score than them. And they know that, you know, when the lesson's going on, actually they might be the one answering lots and lots of questions. So in their mind, the psychology is, hold on a second, I know as much as that child, or maybe even more than that child. And if he or she is getting those really high grades, then so can I. And so it creates a sense of motivation to try a bit harder. I don't believe in unhealthy competition where children feel then that they're not good enough and so on. That's never what I subscribe to, and as the business owner of Geek School Tutoring, it's not something I promote at all. You know, the group sessions are there as a sense of motivation. There's also something quite special about having another child answer a question and explain how they've derived that answer. There's something very special about that, and children learn a lot from their peers. And when we speak of topic areas like creative writing, for example, it can be very inspiring for other children to hear the words that somebody their own age has put on paper, and it encourages them to do better. They get ideas of each other, and that sense of motivation to really push the boundaries starts to come alive, and it has a positive knock-on effect. The same with GCSEs, you know, for the older students, many of them are not necessarily willing to undertake tuition. Oftentimes it's the parents who are instigating that process. And so what we tend to have then is children who take a while to warm up, as I call them. You know, once they realize that tuition is a safe place for them to ask questions that maybe they don't get a chance to ask in class at school, or questions that they've been carrying along until the teacher of a particular subject reviews that subject again, that topic again, they then start to see the benefits of the tuition. And again, there's a sense of friendship and camaraderie. Wow, so it's not just my mum and dad who are making me go through all this tuition when I could be on Snapchat or Instagram or something else. There's always a new technology that young people are jumping on the bandwagon of. And so there's a sense of, I won't say empathy, but, you know, they realize that, you know, there is a group of children and they are actually preparing with the support of tuition. And it's a safe haven, yes, but then they also get a sense of support outside of the school environment. You know, in the classroom, depending on the class dynamics, in some instances, it's not cool to be seen as somebody who wants to do well and asks the teacher lots and lots of questions and get clarification. That can impede a child's learning, but in tuition, the idea is to improve on that learning, and it is cool. It's why Geek School is called Geek School, and the tag is where the smart children go. You know, smart not just academically, but in the sense of using wisdom, you know. So the idea is that they undertake our group sessions and build their confidence. You know, some of them arrive and they think they're terrible at maths or useless at English and so on. And soon they realize that actually, no, I'm actually good at this. And I can explain things, I understand things and so on. And it's a very, very nurturing environment. One-to-one tuition, on the other hand, it has its benefits in the short term, but I often find over the course of almost a decade of running Geek School tutoring, that students tend to get a little bit lazy. It's just them and the tutor. And, you know, they can emphatically say they don't understand things that they do. And it's a sense of avoidance and so on. And there is no benchmark for them because in that lesson, it's just them. They don't have another student who has clearly revised what they've learnt in the previous lesson and is really fired up in terms of answering questions and so on. They just have them in this small bubble for an hour or so where 100% of the attention is on them. For the youngest children, many of them get too dependent on that. So then when it comes to doing things like homework, they want mum or dad to sit with them, to read and explain questions to them and so on. That sense of independence of working starts to erode with one-to-one tuition. Yes, it can, for a different type of student, give them confidence in their understanding. But generally, I find that children benefit more if the one-to-one is a short-term remedy to meet an initial need, and then the children move on to the small groups because it keeps them on their toes a little bit more, which can be very positive, you know, as I've explained. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope that explains why I really recommend the small group sessions as opposed to the one-to-one sessions. So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this. Get in touch if you're looking for tuition for your child. We do have 2 venues, one in Beckenham, one in Catford, and we also provide tuition online. So we provide the online tuition in small groups as well as one-to-one for the short term. So thank you for watching and hope to speak to you or see you soon. Collins,